Hand sanitized. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, at the age of 36, she was already a veteran on South African screens, with roles on some of South Africa's biggest shows. And in 2018, she starred in the hit film Baby Mamas. Well, she is a mama herself, and her child has been born before, so pre-lockdown. She joins us to chat about how the journey has been so far and how she's coped. Firstly, congratulations on your newborn baby.
Yay! Thank you so much.
I can only imagine the excitement of accepting and welcoming a new member into the family during a time that seems so difficult right now. It's that glimmer of hope, don't you find? Now, girl, I just had to find out. Yeah, but as a mom during this lockdown time, how have you found it?
I mean, I'm enjoying all the time I get to spend with the little one, and it's also, the time on my hands has given me the opportunity to just adjust to being a new mom again. The last time I did this was 8 years ago.
Sure.
So this is our second born. But I think it's also a difficult time. You're always preoccupied with hygiene as a new mom, but now even more so. Just the other day we had to do a vaccination run at the clinic, and I'm telling you, I almost broke out in hives. I was so anxious about being out and about. So it's a mixed bag. It's always, of course, a blessing to have a little one. The goo goo gagas and that, new energy in the house has been exciting, Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you right now. Now, besides having to look after a newborn baby, how have you and your family been staying busy during this national lockdown? I know I've been so bored.
Really? Oh, my word. I do not have enough hours in a day. In between homeschooling, Dumi, who's in grade 3.
Yeah,
and then, just finding time to do that and remembering mathematics and things like that. But, also music has played a big part of our lockdown time. Hubby has been back in studio making new music, so watching him creatively has inspired me creatively. So it's been exciting seeing how's on the decks again,
The country has been begging for it, right?
I know, right? I every now and then I walk into the studio as well, and I'm like, okay, this one is a hit. Drop it now. And he's like, no, wait. But yeah, also just like picking up on mundane things like admin that I've been putting off.
Yeah.
Procrastination sometimes is a curse in my life. So I've managed to journal again. I'm writing more and just doing like boring filing and those little chores around the house that you've been putting off. Like I was decluttering the other day. So it's really things like that. Just
it's a whole lot.
And trying to stay active. Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of what you do has a therapeutic element to it. And I know that you are not afraid to open up about your depression. Now, how has it been during this time to stay sane and take care of this mental health during these stressful and mostly uncertain times?
I think, being aware of my mental health has never been more important. I think self-care is something that I've had to be very cognizant about. Obviously, the little one, I'm breastfeeding, so she picks up on my energy. It's important for me to stay also in a positive space. Interestingly enough, I've been incredibly inspired by Dumi, my 8-year-old. She's such a positive, motivating force in my life. And just seeing how, as a child, she's taken to being cooped up indoors, not being able to interact with her friends, hearing all this talk about the pandemic and all the panic, just watching how she's adjusted has helped me to just also take a step back and just be aware of all those little things that we communicate without even communicating. But, apps like Calm is a mindfulness app that I use just to decompress at the end of the day, just before I sleep, woosah a little bit, I listen to some classical music. Another thing that helps me to just perk myself up and stay positive. Dumi and I, check out on the internet some videos, music videos. We try and copy the steps, a little bit of dance fitness in there, freestyling.
Girl, can I tell you something? It's as if you've got a secret camera in my apartments because that's all I've been doing. I've been and one,
You
two,
know.
3, 4.
Yes, she even taught me how to do the whoa. Apparently it's like
Oh, yes.
something.
I mean, okay, so you've spoken about how you've been getting through this time and what's been helping you, and we really appreciate that. But just taking that a step forward, what advice do you have with other people dealing with depression and anxiety, most specifically caused by COVID-19?
You know, guys, I think it's really important that everyone is very aware that we are mentally impacted by this, whether you know it or not. Just being forced to stay indoors or being overly preoccupied about how everyone around you affects you and could potentially affect your health. It's a big deal. So it's important that you just be aware, listen to your own signs. But you know, I might be unpopular for saying this, and I know everyone is online at this time, but I think just logging off, you know, I find that, you know, too much onlining, staying on social media gets you into that space where you're comparing what's happening in your life versus what's happening in other people's lives. You know, I have never felt like more of an underachiever not baking banana bread ever in my life. Like,
Girl, I went to go buy some. I mean...
You know, so, I mean, just putting your phone down, logging off, and just taking a walk outside, getting some vitamin D, it's fantastic. But also, you know, for people who are, you know, experiencing this lockdown alone, make those video calls. I'm not a huge fan of video calls ordinarily, but I found during this time calling my mom, actually seeing her, I've been calling my siblings more on video call. Just force yourself to connect with people. You know, whether you're building on an existing support system or developing a new one, you know, find people that you can be vulnerable with. Even if you're not confiding that you're feeling anxious or you don't want to particularly talk about what you're going through, just having them there to share memes, laugh about what you're doing, and be bored together online. That helps as well.
I love all your advice, and I think that is critical. Unpopular opinion or not, everything that you have said has incredible value. So thank you so much for not only raising your 2 incredible daughters to be the strong woman that you are, but thank you also for joining us on Afternoon Express. Here at Afternoon Express, we wish you and your family the absolute best in the months to come, and of course, all the best with the newborn.
Thanks for coming back to entertain us, guys. We missed you and we love you.
Thank you so much. Cheers, girl. Now we've got some more kitchen inspiration heading your way. Plus, later on, we catch up with the one and only Somgaga, Mr. Somizi. See you after the break.